Welcome our viewers to another episode of your show Around Kuwait, where we shed the light in the most recent topics and focusing on the trending occasions. Of course, I'm your host Abdul Latif Lanizi, and today we will share with you a special story about a really special guest. And of course, today we're having with us at our studio a seasoned professional with a fascinating journey in broadcasting and mythology, starting from KTV in the late 80s and embarked in a path that would shape both the Arabic and English programming landscape. Please welcome with us our guest, Mr. Jamal Ibrahim. Thank you, Mr. Jamal, for being here with us. We are so glad to have you.
The pleasure is mine, and thank you very much for having you with me in the studio.
Well, thank you very much. I'm actually really glad because you are one of the most special guests, and you have this remarkable history, remarkable journey that we are really so glad that you are here with us. You're going to share it. Of course, for the first question can you take us back to the late 80s when you started working at KTV? What was like with those early days?
Well, I started working in Kuwait television in 1981, in Arabic channel 1. Then mid 80s or late 80s, we opened another program for channel 2.
Yes.
The news. It's been lots of pleasure and fun to give information people who don't know. The good thing about meteorology, our job when we do forecast for the future, and it's always very nice people looking for future.
Yes.
We don't know what will happen tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Weather-wise, we're not talking about anything else. But we don't know it's going to be rainy, sandy, dusty tomorrow or
you don't
nice.
know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
But we know according to our calculation.
Yes.
So people are very anxious to know what we are going to see.
On this remarkable journey that you had, I think it was really amazing. So can you tell us, how did your journey on broadcasting begin? And also, can you tell us what inspired you to combine both the Arabic and the English languages on broadcasting?
Okay, our main job in Kuwait International Airport, Meteorological Department, we do the weather forecast for airplanes. Any plane want to leave Kuwait Airport, going to England or to India or to state.
They need the weather forecast.
We give them the weather for the route forecast. We give them the forecast what's happening in Kuwait right now, what will happen, what will they see in the road, all the levels, or turbulence, or all kind of CBs, cloud, or very dangerous area, and all the way to England or the place they will receive. We also give them the route forecast. We give them information about all the airports underneath them, just in case of emergency. In the way of Kuwait to London, they have an emergency. They want to land in Athens or Saudi Arabia or Jordan,
yes,
or France. They know all the forecast for these cities to land.
Did you loved what you're doing at the time?
Yes.
Did you loved it? Did you have, let's say, the passion for it?
Yes, our job is very interesting. Meteorology.
It's very important also.
It's very, very important, yes. For instance, any aircraft accident, first they think for a weather report.
Yeah.
It could be accident from the weather. So they check with our map and forecast, which we gave them. If there's nothing, then it could be technical, it could be pilot error, or it could be ground error, anything could happen. But first thing they think of is the weather. And many people think our job is so simple. We come on television for 5 minutes, we give you the forecast and we leave. No, this is not our job, or not our main job. We do the forecast.
Yes.
But this is side dish, like we call it, to give the people information.
And also at the 70s, let's say 1975, you were studying at the USA, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us about the experience that you had? Did you think that it's really contributed on your journey and on the success that you had on your life?
Yes, it's better. I advise all people who have children to go study out of Kuwait abroad.
Really?
They will learn two things, or more than one thing. They learn the education, another language. If they have a language, you can get the language in Kuwait.
Yes.
But they gain knowledge, degree, and they gain life of other countries.
The life of the other countries.
The life of the other people, how they live. Like there's a saying, when in Rome, do as Romans do.
Yeah.
When you're in England, do what England people do, live the way they do, eat what they eat. That's what we have done. I even joined the church one time there. I'm not Christian, but I joined the church, how they pray, they go. I've been invited.
To see maybe the experience that they had, to know more about the community, let's say.
Exactly. We live in a community. We had lots of interesting things to do there.
Yeah, of course. And I think for me personally, one of the most interesting things to have when you are studying outside your country is that you need to struggle. There are going to be struggles because this is the first time that you are living alone, need to basically stand alone and financially, emotionally, and try as possible as you can to, let's say, hold everything up while you are studying, while you are focusing on studying. I think it's really important, but it's really teaching the next generation more about dedication. So do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree 100% because you have to be, at the school you have to be a student. At home you have to be housemaid, you have to be a cook, you cook your food, you join your friend to go outside.
Yes,
you do many things. You have to do dishwashing, cooking, clothes washing, cleaning,
all of the things that when you were at
all
home
the
you
things
didn't
you cannot do in Kuwait. So
Yeah.
there, when you live alone or you live with a roommate, you can do it, or you have to do it.
Yeah. So being a meteorologist student in North Carolina is actually something fascinating. So what attracted you on this field, considering it was relatively new at the time?
It was very new at the time. We had
Yeah.
very few Kuwaitis. We still have very few Kuwaitis, by the way. We have not exceeded 15. Since
Really?
we graduated, we had about 8, 7, then 10,
Yes.
11, then we are less than 15 now.
Well, this actually, considering that it's really rare, why do you think is that happening?
Why is that happening? That's
Maybe raising the awareness about the field itself to or let the major to maybe contribute on that to let our next generation know about it.
No, many people who want to look for a job right now, people looking for money. Okay, you have two fields. You can go to engineering or go to meteorology.
Yeah, well, of
Engineering,
course,
your salary is double than our salary, so they should increase. If we compare it to one of the Arabian Gulf countries, their salary is higher than our salary in Kuwait.
Yeah, but it's okay here in
and
many
all
fields,
all their staff, from top to bottom, all 100% native. Here
it's actually a percentage about how the life costs and how much the salary.
No.
But of course, with our lovely government, everything is actually going to be remarkable. So, did you ever imagine yourself studying meteorology, and how did you adapt on the new emerging science?
Well, I used to be good in math. I loved math. Meteorology is a combination of math, physics, and thermodynamics. With these three books in a blender, you get meteorology. And you have
Great describing about that.
exactly.
Great.
And in engineering, you have one or two variables. In meteorology, we're working with all variables: wind, speed, the direction, two variables; temperature, higher, down, two variables;
Yes.
pressure, up and down, two variables; relative humidity, up or down, also many variables we're dealing with. And we always say, we don't say it's going to be rain tomorrow. We give chances of rain tomorrow. It could be 90%, 5%, 10%. So we always talk about chances.
So you also trained yourself to be a meteorologist on KTV, or let's say on TV. Can you share with us a memorable moment that you had during your journey on TV as a meteorologist?
Yes, well, I noticed, I've been in this business for more than 40 years. I noticed the most important thing, all people, Kuwaiti or non-Kuwaiti, when they watch the news, the most important part of the news is the weather.
Yeah.
Because everybody's watching weather, everybody in Kuwait. For instance, you, whatever your job is, now we are sitting in studio, we're talking to our friends.
Exactly.
When you go to Diwania, you talk to your friends. When you go to home, you talk to your wife and children, right? But when you go to sleep, you leave everything, but you don't leave the weather. You have to breathe. So you have to know the weather, whether it's cold, hot, polluted, not polluted. It's affecting you, whether you are awake or sleeping. When you sleep, you leave everybody, but you cannot leave the weather.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you have to know, study what you have.
Exactly. Even I think it's right now, as winter is here, a lot of people going to camps in the outside. It's actually number one on trending activity that you are doing outside. Is camping. So as you mentioned, I think that the weather forecast is one of the most important things, because people look up to at the weekend, whether it's going to be rainy or not, so
Yeah.
they can go to camping.
Right.
Yes, I think it's really important.
Rainy condition starts in Kuwait on 1st of October till end of May, till end 31st of May.
Yes.
Of course, April and May we call it Sarayat and Subag Sarayat. This 2 months when we have rain comes in the afternoon. CB thunderstorm activities. This rainy condition comes in between 5 and 7. Very heavy rain, thunderstorms activity, and hail and windy.
Also the sea condition.
The
if you
whole
wanna mention
and
that.
sea condition will be
Yeah.
state of sea will be very very
For
high.
fishermen,
Yeah, but this whole thing lasts about 10-15 minutes.
50 minutes.
10 or to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But before, like for instance, October, November, December, January, February, March, we have nice, beautiful rain. Small rain, winter rain is good for plant, for the ground, and people who go to camping. We have beautiful days or months. November, December, January, February, March. 5 months are beautiful. You can
Beautiful
go outdoors, sport. When you go camping, please do not put your tent in a low level area. So
Why?
when it rains, you don't get drowned in rain. Put your tent in a little bit higher ground.
Also, unfortunately, a lot of people put the fire camp, they put it inside the tent, and they close all the vents from the. So after that, they get suffocated. So do you have advice for them also?
Yes, we always give advice. Please do not use charcoal for heating. Not in the tent, not even in the home. What happens? Charcoal gives you first and second and third CO1, CO2, CO3. These are kind of suffocating gases. How they suffocate person. When you sit and talking, you feel dizzy. You feel you want to sleep. No, because your blood is getting poisoned by CO2, and you don't feel it.
Getting poisoned from CO2, and they don't feel it.
They don't feel it. They feel dizzy.
Really important.
Because we are talking, we feel dizzy. All of a sudden, we lose conscious. Then we go dead. So the best way to keep rooms ventilated if you have charcoal inside.
Yes.
Use oil heater, much better and safer.
Oil heat.
And many people say when we put charcoal, we don't put the black charcoal. When black charcoal comes all red, we put it inside. No. When the whole charcoal is all fired, inside is charcoal, inside is carbon. It gives you CO2. Till the whole thing dies, automatically then CO2 goes.
And the heat lifts, and after that, they can put it inside.
Exactly.
Well, that's really great. So there is something I'm really interested about, Mr. Jamal, and I would love to have your remarkable experience on it. Is that we noticed or we witnessed that the last few years we had much of heavy rains. Do you think that we also on this year we will see some heavy rains on this winter?
That's a very good question. Many people, especially in the social media, please stay away from social media. Many people not educated. They don't even have educated guests. Any person says we're going to have wintry season or cold season, temperature is sub-zeros, please don't believe this. We do forecasts for 4 days.
Yes.
After 4 days, okay, we give you update every day. So after 1 day, we give you another 4 days, another 4 days. We keep update. We'll talk about NASA. NASA state they have many universities, of course, scientists, big scientists, okay?
Yes.
When they plan to send a rocket, send satellite, they plan it 2 months ahead, okay? And they set a date and time for it. Before
So
launching,
what about the weather if they set it 2 months ahead?
they do forecast for the weather in 2 months, okay?
They can, let's say, consider about 2 months?
Yes,
To know?
yes, but what happens, I tell you what, long range forecast is not accurate. What happened, even the state, NASA, before launching the rocket, the weather gets very bad, they cancel the launching due to weather, because the long range forecast is not accurate.
Not accurate.
So
Not
many
exactly,
people,
yeah.
this is, we talk about the state and NASA, about us here.
Yes.
Any person talking about more than 4 or 5 days, then please be quiet.
Please, be, yeah. I mean,
And don't
we're
listen
going to
to
hear
them.
the forecast, let's say about tomorrow or after 2 days, or let's say 4 days maximum. If it's after 4 to 7 to 8 days, it's not going to be that accurate.
No, it's not accurate, not educated, and get the sources from Kuwait television, Kuwait radio, Kuwait newspaper.
Yes, of
Other
course,
these,
where we have the most
social
accurate.
media, we have many people, they don't even have any idea about meteorology. They just want to be famous. They take, and by the way, they take our forecast, so oh, it's going to be heavy rain. We did not say heavy rain.
Yeah, but of course, having this, let's say, snow fell in Al Hayman in the latest few weeks. And also in the last year, we heard and we saw that there is snow fell on that area. A little bit of a snow, let's say snowy rain. Yeah. So do you have a comment on that? Why is it happening on that area exactly?
It's not snow. We never had snow in Kuwait.
It's not that snow.
Number one.
Yeah.
It could be sleet.
Sleet.
Sleet is a freezing rain.
Freezing rain, yeah.
As long as it hits, when it hits glass of the car, sticks for about seconds and melts.
For me personally, what I saw that the ground was actually white.
White because of what they
The
call
much of sleet,
hail.
let's say?
Hail. No, sleet very small. Hail is a little bit bigger and takes about 2-3 minutes and disappears.
They call it hail.
Hail.
Yeah.
In Arabic we call it brudi, barad.
Brudi, yeah, of course we know.
And
Yeah,
hail,
no,
it comes, by the way, hail comes in normally in hot weather.
in hot weather.
Yes, it comes in April, May.
So why it doesn't melt on while it's coming down?
I tell you why. How the hail forms. It's a drop of rain, it's coming down. When we have talk about thunderstorms activity, it produces hail.
Yeah.
The thickness of the clouds comes between 4 to 5 kilometers. When a raindrop comes down, the hot air goes up very fast. The speed of the air going up reaches between 100 to 120 kilometers per hour. So it takes this rain droplet up, takes it to a higher level where temperature about 10-15 degrees below zero.
Okay.
Then this thing freezes. It freezes and gets giant. The one hail droplet gets as big as a football.
But as soon as it's coming to the ground.
And with the weight of it, 5.5 kilo almost.
Okay.
When it comes to the ground, it comes about this big.
I didn't know, and it is really interesting information. So you mentioned that it wasn't snow, and you were sure about it.
I'm sure about it because the temperature that night above zero.
Above zero, yeah.
You cannot have snow while temperature above zero.
So why here in Kuwait, a lot of people say it's impossible to have snow. Why is that?
Okay, when our temperature gets below zero, it gets below zero maybe 2-3 times. The first time I think in 1964, I don't know, in the 80s. When it gets below zero, we have clear skies, northwesterly wind with the clear skies.
With a clear sky, there's no snow.
There's no snow.
Yeah.
To snow now, you have to have clouds. So when they have snow in the States or in Europe, temperature is about 5, 6, 2
Below
degrees,
zero.
even 1 degree below zero.
Yeah.
Then they have rainy condition, become not rain, becomes snowing.
And of course, thank you for this remarkable information. And of course, we have more questions that I'm really interested about it and about to know your answer about it. But we have the short break. So for you, our dear viewers, stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, our viewers. After the short break, we are back with Mr. Jamal. So, Mr. Jamal, there is one of the questions that I'm really interested about is that you, as someone, you worked as a meteorologist in KTV for almost 40 years. How have you seen the work of meteorology and weather broadcasting evolving over these years?
When we started from below scratch, we have the small map. Before we used to draw.
Yes.
Then we have magnetic map. We have with magnetic number. We put 23 for 20. We stick a dust or cloud or sun.
You stick it by let's say glue.
No, not by glue, by magnetic field.
Magnetic.
All magnetic, shaped like a sun or a cloud or numbers. we stick it in a steel map. We stick it,
Yeah.
we talk about it. That was 1981. Then we have about the drawing after that. We didn't have computer, we don't have all this. But now after liberation, we had all this computer stuff.
Well, that's really remarkable, because as you are mentioning the transformation from the 80s until this moment, and you have this remarkable experience. How did you felt when you remember the evolving? Do you think that it is evolving in a good way, in a right way?
Yes, because people who are
Technology is good. I mean, it's helping really.
it's good. Yeah, many people watch it, and the people who are getting in television now, whether like my colleagues now, I trained all of them. We give them training for 1 month to 2 months to do. When we got into television, nobody trained us. Our
Because
training
it was at the beginning, let's say.
at the beginning, the man who was before us 1 year, so he does a forecast for us. The next day, okay, Jamal, come and do it.
Yeah,
It's
so,
like
so the experience was an actual experience at
Actual
the moment.
experience, yeah.
It has to be fascinating.
But the good thing about
Yeah.
Kuwait television, by the way, most of our viewers, we have more viewers outside in Kuwait than Kuwait.
That's really great.
Yeah, you know, eastern part of the Arabian Gulf, Iran
Yeah.
side,
Yes.
all the people living that side, they're watching Kuwait meteorology, Kuwait news because of meteorology. Because when we say weather forecast, when we say raining tomorrow, they expect rain a day after tomorrow. When we say dusty weather tomorrow,
What
they
happened
have
to
dusty
Kuwait is
weather.
going to happen to them.
So
because
whatever
it's
happens here
moving
goes to
weather.
them, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's really great. So, do you have a comment about when we witness a lot of people, and for me personally, when I go at the social media, especially starting from October, a lot of people who, I don't know if they have the experience or not, they are saying, oh, it's gonna be rainy next week, it's gonna be rainy after 2 weeks. And people say, no, be careful, everything's gonna drown down because it's going to have really heavy rain. Nothing is going to stop it after, let's say, 3 months, or started from December. Do you have a comment about on these people? Are they trained or not?
In the beginning of our program, I told, please do not listen to social media. False advertising, they give you false information. They're not educated, they have nothing to do with meteorology. This is our problem in Kuwait. Many people talk. Unfortunately, whatever they say is affecting our people. If you give bad food somebody, you poison his body. If you give wrong information, you poison their brain.
Yes.
And September 11, 1997,
Yes.
when we had heavy rain.
Yeah.
A week later, I was in a Diwaniya. About
Okay.
20 people sitting. One of the people asked Jamal, what happened last week, why we had heavy rain in Kuwait? Before I opened my mouth, the guy next to him, oh, it's because the Sudanese low pressure system causes so and so. For 2 minutes, he was giving wrong information. And when he finished, another guy, a third guy, a fourth guy. They said,
And all of them, they were trying to give the information, and you didn't talk.
I was just sitting silent. They did not give me a chance to talk. Then the man said, the man who asked that question, said, the only one who specialized in this Diwaniya is Jamal Ibrahim.
Of course.
And we gave him the question, Jamal, what do you think? I said, since you have all these experts, why should I talk?
It was a lovely moment, of course. So, what about if our followers and people in Kuwait wanted to know about the weather forecast? Where and how do they know about it?
Okay, with
The main sources.
Meteorological Department of Kuwait and Kuwait International Airport,
Okay.
they have website, met.gov.com
Okay.
or .kw,
Yeah.
met.gov.kw. This is, they have the site for Meteorological Department. They do forecast, or they update the forecast twice a day, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening. And they give you the forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and 5 days to come. And you can see satellite image and the maps.
So you mentioned something on the story you just mentioned, that you were also training your colleagues, because at the time when you first started, no one trained you. But at these days, you are training.
Yes.
And the people that you are training at the future, they're going to be coaches and training other meteorologists.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, since you started as a trainer for your coworkers, what motivated you to be a trainer, and how did you felt with this experience?
It's a good, nice experience to have at least, okay, I will not stay for 100 years on Kuwait television. I might leave today,
Inshallah,
tomorrow,
you will
whatever.
have, inshallah, you will stay.
But we
We
have
love
to,
having you with us.
Thank you very much. We have to give support and other people after us. So when I teach them, I not only teach them the way how to present the weather, I teach them the way how to train people after them.
That's really great because
So
you're
people-
looking for the future, trying to take care of it. Yeah.
Exactly. They will take care of others. There are many people now there. The Zgrawi, Khal Jaman, Fahad Latebi, Yasser Blushi, they're all
All hi
meteorologists.
to them. And all
We
cheer
say
them,
hello
yeah.
to them.
Yes.
And all of them, I train them, and they are training people now.
That's really remarkable.
Yeah.
So, do you think that you were, let's say, had to be a trainer, or you wanted to be a trainer?
I had to be.
You had to be.
Yeah.
And why is that?
We did not have many people. We're getting less
train,
people. We're
yeah.
only 3. One left us, so I have to bring more people. I start giving them training. We train 2, then train 3.
So,
And they don't come in
Yeah.
like 1 or 2, you train 1 or 2, after 1 year, 2 years, another one comes. So we are always in training.
So, do you love the experience as you were a trainer? Do you think that you loved it more than being a weather forecaster, or let's say meteorologist?
Well, it's both the same.
It's both the same,
It's
you
the
felt.
love of giving. When I give people information, it's going to be raining tomorrow, or it's going to be hot or nice and lovely weather, people listen to you. I love this. And I love when I'm teaching someone how to present the weather, it's the love of giving. So people appreciate this.
So, switching to the Kuwait delegate as an interesting shift. So, what's more promoted this change, and how did your audience respond to it?
For the weather we're giving,
Yes,
State of Kuwait,
yeah.
our audience, they love it. Exactly. When we started, like in 1980, 81, people, not too many people watching us. But when we got in, after 2, 3 years, even the housewife, they're watching us. Kuwait television is the first television in the Middle East we used to give advices for ladies. Okay, people are leaving home, what to wear your kids, school, tomorrow's
That's
cold.
really great.
Tomorrow's cold, and many bad things we had before. Like before in winter time, our mother said, oh, drink hot milk and tea because cold outside.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake. When you drink hot beverages, you go outside in the cold, you get problem with your tonsils. Before you leave home in winter time, you should drink something cold or room temperature.
To adjust the body, the body, yeah.
To safeguard your tonsils.
Yeah.
And we have another mistakes we have here in the summertime in May. Okay, eat ice cream. Ice cream, you should eat it in winter time, not in the summertime.
Exactly.
So not to hurt your tonsils.
So, can you describe to us the moment when you switched from talking in the main Arabic language into the common language?
Kuwaiti slang, yeah.
Kuwaiti's accent, let's say. How did you felt from switching to that?
I changed this when first year. Before we had our colleagues, most of them not even meteorologists, but they used to do weather, and they used to talk in Arabic. We graduated from States, our Arabic, they say, a newspaper actually, every day. Oh, this man, he's in Arabic, they don't know how to speak good Arabic, what they call it, grammar.
Yeah, maybe the
Okay.
grammar, because it's a little bit hard. It's one of the hardest.
Yeah, exactly. I had many fights with the newspaper writers because, okay, instead of encouraging us, you are downgrading us. No. So I told my colleagues, from tonight I will say in Kuwaiti slang,
Yeah.
whether they like it or not. All my colleagues.
Because your job, you're not training for Arabic language.
I want
you're
to
given the
give you an
weather for-
information. I don't care which
Yes.
language, but or
I mean,
slang.
as long as the audience understands it, it's
Yeah.
one of the most important thing.
All my colleagues got scared. So, oh, this is Kuwait television. If you talk in slang, they kick you out. So I don't care.
Exactly.
And the same day, I made it in Kuwait. Next day, one of the chief editors, he wrote one whole page. We like to thank Jamal Ibrahim, talking Kuwaiti slang, like we know all other Arabic slang. They should know our slang. Our old ladies and men who loved our slang, which we say in Kuwaiti.
Yeah. So, can you give us that moment or the milestone that changed your career? Because a lot of people they had a career, and then there's a moment that changed their whole future. They changed their whole career. For me personally, I started as a reporter, and I wanted to be a presenter on a stereo. So the changing moment when I met certain people, they saw that I have the talent for that, and then I switched. This is for me. Can you describe for us the moment for you, Mr. Jamal?
Okay, before the people who are up for us, they used to come on television. They just graduated a year and a half before us, and they did not like to give presentation for weather on television. They hate television for they're shy to come in. One of them is very shaky when he comes on air.
Yes.
So, oh, Jamal, come, be on television for 2-3 months and leave. I came, I thought he was taking vacation 2-3 months. I be 2-3 months and I leave. And I came in, I stuck till now.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't want to be presenter. And this is the one who trained us, one day training. He showed us what he did, the next day we did it.
So, looking back to your career that you had, this remarkable journey, the remarkable stories over the years, do you have a special advice to you when you were younger? Let's say if you can go back in time, and if you can give yourself a special advice about either working on TV or as a meteorologist, definitely you have this special advice to tell yourself about what should go better for you.
Well, when I started, actually we started really below scratch, as I told you.
Yes, as you mentioned
and
from
we
the
worked
beginning.
very, very hard to be what we are now. And in our field, when we start from scratch, nobody appreciated our work, nobody appreciated us. But thank God, after about 10 years, we saw many people say, okay, we love you for your presentation. Many people say, when you come and do Ania, you come on television. We say, everybody be quiet. We want to listen to Jamal was saying, or the weather forecaster.
Yeah.
So people start loving us, يحبونا في الله, just loving you for God.
For God, yes, of
Not
course.
for anybody's sake. The love of people we got is too much, actually.
It's
More,
got to
I
be.
can say more than what we deserve, but many people loved us because we giving them information.
So, having programming in Arabic and also in English, being as a meteorologist and other weather forecaster in Arabic and also English, sometimes be a little bit, let's say, challenging. You have mixed up with some words in Arabic, saying it in English, and also at the other way around. It's got to be challenging. How did you overcome these challenges, and how did you train yourself not to have, let's say, mistakes or faults on that?
Okay, the challenging to do weather forecast in Arabic, because all meteorology we learned, or terminology we learned in English.
In English, yeah.
So it's so much easy to do forecast in English.
So I thought that you were going to say the opposite of that.
No, it's not the opposite. The Arabic is the very hard part. Why?
Yes.
Because when in English we say CB clouds. CB clouds mean thunderstorms activity. In Arabic, what's thunderstorms activity? It's a 3-4 letter word. We have to invent it.
Yes.
الغيوم الرعدية.
Yeah.
غيوم رعدية, غيوم عاصفية.
It's actually a describable word. I mean,
Well, and
it's
in
not
English,
a name.
in English, when you say thunderstorms in Arabic, عاصفة. عاصفة is a big name. It's a storm.
Yeah.
No, it's not عاصفة, what they call it. Not
It's
a
just
big
a thunderstorm.
It's a small storm. Yeah, CB cloud.
Yeah. So I totally understand how did you feel to all this on your journey. So mentioning that, there's got to be some, let's say, funny moment, unexpected moment that occurred to you on your work while you were working on broadcasting. Can you share with us the funny moment that you had that you will always remember, and mention it and telling it to the people that you have on Douaniya, let's say?
Yes, that was first day we got trained. Not training, people that told the man who was doing us, or telling us, he was a little bit shaky. He put the magnetic board, okay, sunrise and this. Tomorrow you take this, or tonight and tomorrow the wind will northwesterly direction. And there's two people, me and another guy. The other one, he graduated 1 month before I did. So he's a little bit senior than me, 1 month. So next day, the same man came and said, okay, the other guy, he's a little bit tall, much taller than me. You do the forecast. First day we saw him, second day he came. And when he put the mic, it's wire, not wireless.
Okay.
When he put the mic, and like for said, this is the camera, he said, good evening everybody, we take on a quick tour, take over the forecast for next 24 hours. He's facing the camera, all in Arabic, okay?
Yeah.
Then he turned to the map, southeasterly wind. Go back to the camera. He quiet.
He froze.
He froze. All of a sudden, he took the mic out. Said, oh, please, come and continue instead of me. That was on air.
It was on air.
It was on air. And this guy, he's already shaking. Jamal, come. I was on the ground laughing. I said, no way. You do it, you. This is the most funniest thing.
Did he ever broadcast after that moment? Did he ever went on live?
Yes, he went after forecast.
And of course, it was successful.
He did not do it again, but did a good job.
Yeah.
For so many years. It did not last many years, but for about 4 or 5 years, unstopped.
Yeah, well, that's got to be great. And he will always have this, looking back at this moment, I don't think it's going to be a failure moment. I think it's going to be an experience that he will always remember and learn from it.
That's why we give them training for 2-3 months.
Yes.
We give them all the problems which we have.
Not from the same day.
No, not the same day. At least two months of training. Then we take a pilot test. Undersecretary see it, everybody see it. Then they give their comments. Then they come in there.
So, can you tell us about the evolving of television through the years? Because it's evolved in a remarkable way, sharing the experience, having the latest news, and knowing the weather broadcast, knowing everything that I need to know from the other side of the world on let's say, on a box of a screen. Do you think that the evolve, let's say, went great for it?
Yes, dramatically. We had big change.
And for you personally, do you think that it's evolved for you also really good and on your benefits?
It comes to my benefit, but we need, all the information are the same. The forecast is the same since we graduated from school till now. Same forecast we talk about, but we have the visual aids. Before we did not have computer system.
You had the steel map and of course the magnets as clock.
A map, a drawing map on a paper, and we changed the paper. It was so...
It was difficult,
crazy,
but at the time you think it was easy. But after the evaluation of the technology, you think, no, I think it's really easy. Before it was hard.
We have to have these things to show people what's happening. I cannot sit like this and say forecast for tomorrow, northeasterly wind, temperature 24, minimum 15, cloudy to partly cloudy.
I mean, there are visual aids.
Visual aids that people see.
Behind you, yeah, they are seeing. You just need to point it out and let's say explain it.
Explain it.
Yeah.
When would happen, from what time to which time, people are following this.
Do you still give the advices for the other people when they want to go, when they want to go out, like before?
Yes.
Do you think that will ever stop? You will stop it?
I will not stop it, no.
Because it's one of the most important things.
For free. Many people, by the way, when they see me in the supermarket, on the road.
You give them advice also?
They ask me what will happen today, tomorrow. For about 15 minutes they talk to you. Then say, okay, bye-bye.
And you do it without maybe, let's say, feel heavy that you are busy or you have something to do?
No. Even if busy, I give them my time. I give them all the information they ask for.
That's really
and
great.
The funny thing, anyone sees you, whether he knows you or not, what's the first question he asks you? First question he asks you normally, how are you? How are you doing, right?
Yeah. What about you?
Nobody asks me, how are you?
What did they ask you?
How is the weather? When the rain will stop? When it's going to be dusty? When it's going to be fine? Then say bye-bye. They don't stop.
They don't say like, Mr. Jamal, how are you? Good? I hope that you're feeling okay.
No.
They don't ask you that?
No.
That's good. What's the weather? Well, we're going to come here, my family. Is it going to be dusty?
Exactly. They ask about the weather more than ask about yourself.
But it's okay. I mean,
but it's okay.
You're in our heart, yeah.
I love it. I love to give them information. And
because actually they need you. I mean, this actually contributes for you personally to know that the world, they actually need you, need your guidance, need your information. And I think it's one of the most important things.
And you feel inside yourself that you are useful to other people.
That's
this
great.
Keep you very, very pleasant.
Yeah. Because let's say, I mean, when you want to mention that, I think it's really important and great. So you had these values for you personally that whenever you ended your broadcasting, you need to end it up with advice, special advice. Tell us about your principles and your values that worked and lasted with you to your whole journey while you're on TV.
You have to be yourself. You have to be honest. You don't give a false advice and you don't have to overact. One time, me and my colleagues, we've been television together for about 20 years, all ages. One time in the mall, we were walking.
Yes.
Oh, three people, hey, Mr. Jamal, how are you doing? How is this? We talking about the weather. I said, oh, who's this? He's my colleague, he comes on TV. So people know you more than me. I said, I don't change, I'm same.
Yeah.
Outside and television, same. But you, when you come, oh, you change your voice, you change this, so people...
A lot of things they had to change.
Be
definitely.
yourself, be yourself. This is the most or best advice I can give to anybody.
Not only working on TV, I think they need it working everywhere, even at their houses.
Yes.
They need to be themselves, because unfortunately people are trying to be something that not themselves, just to win other people's approval.
Exactly.
So that's really great. So I need to ask you about experience, if you have it, and I don't know if you have it from before or not. What will you do if your colleague that's doing the weather broadcast, and he had, let's say, something, and he ended it, and he says, Jamal, you need to go instead of me. I have a situation, I need to go, I need to leave right now. What will you do?
I do it.
You do it?
على طول.
Do you ask him why? No, stay?
No, I don't ask. I told him, don't tell me.
It's not my work, it's your work.
No. Whenever you have any problem, you cannot go on TV, tell me. Just give me a call, I go on. Because today you need me, tomorrow I need you. So we are working as a team. And now we have a beautiful team.
This is not working as a team, this is working as a family.
As a family working more than a team, exactly.
Because working as a team is actually when you say, okay, I'm gonna do it for you, but I'm only gonna do it because let's say someday I might need you, but no, you're not doing only for that, even if you don't need him.
We do it because people need the information.
People need the information.
So if you don't go out, I don't go out, people losing this information.
It's one of the most important things for me personally is on the news is actually the weather broadcast. Because a lot of people have been anticipating on it and been waiting about the next information, what would happen in the outside, because we are living in the outside, all of us living at the same area.
Exactly.
So knowing about the news or what's happening on the world, it's not as important as what's happening inside our country. Exactly. So,
no, people now getting more, like I see old men, old ladies, young men, even kids, they're interested about weather. All ages, male and female, they ask me about weather anytime in the market or supermarket, wherever.
So there's a question I'm curious about.
Yes.
Do you think that if you studied the meteorology here in Kuwait or any other country except the USA, do you think that your journey will be different?
My what will be different?
Your journey will be different, let's say the future. If you studied, let's say, in another country. Yeah, and if you had another experience.
No, I don't think so, as long as you have the good or right information. Up to now, Kuwait University, they don't have, no university in Kuwait, or even Middle East, they don't have it. They give you a diploma, which is 2 years, it's also nothing, but they have this in Germany, they have in England, all European countries, and Canada, and Russia, Spain, USA, and Australia. All people you see in Kuwait were graduated from states.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So do you have one last question? Do you have one last advice to say to our viewers before we finish our interview?
My always advice, please stay away from social media. Stick to Kuwait television, Kuwait radio, Kuwait newspaper. Stick to people who study meteorology and who are giving the forecast. One time we had a book about 500 pages, carpentry in university.
Yeah.
And as the teacher said, we said, which chapter is on? Which chapter we should study? He said, the exam will be cover to cover.
Okay.
Okay, first question, nobody answered it. It has 20% of the grade. What's the first question? Who's the name, the writer of the book? Nobody read the writer of the book. The doctor said, okay, I told you, cover to cover. The writer of the book and the cover. Why? How
20% of the degrees, where is it on the cover of the book?
Yeah, he said cover to cover. We should have read the cover writer. You know, how can you read a book, get all the information, you don't know who wrote it?
Yes.
Could be a false information. Like I cannot write a book about surgery or medication, no. If I write a book meteorology, okay.
Mr. Jamal, thank you for being here with us. Your journey, your inspiring journey was really remarkable. And to share it here with us in our show around Kuwait is actually one of the most, let's say, beautiful thing to have in our show. Do you have, or let's say, did you have some enjoyable time here in the interview?
Just enjoying all the young people doing all this first for you, and
Yes.
all the directors we saw are the ladies behind
They are
camera,
great,
people,
and
beautiful
thank you.
people. God bless you all, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here with us. And for you, our viewers, stay tuned for more other stories. We will see you for the next time, and goodbye for now.